In the days when the second temple stood in Jerusalem, Shimon HaTzadik was one of the last high priests to preside over the great assembly. He was called HaTzadik, the righteous or the just, on account of his devout piety and his renowned benevolence. The Talmud teaches that Shimon HaTzadik was the last high priest to be worthy of pronouncing God's true name when offering the priestly blessing. The ancient sage Ben Sirah said of Shimon HaTzadik, "Great among his brethren, and the glory of his people was Shimon, the son of Yochanan, the high priest, in whose time the house was renovated, and in whose days the temple was fortified. How glorious he was when he came out from the inner sanctum of the temple, like a morning star from between the clouds, and like the fall moon on the feast days." The rabbis say that it was Shimon HaTzadik who went forth to welcome Alexander the Great upon his arrival in Jerusalem in the year 332 before the Common Era. Pirkei Avot teaches that it was Shimon HaTzadik who would say, "Al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed." The world is sustained by three things: al ha'torah, upon Torah; al ha'avodah, worship; v'al gemilut chasadim, loving deeds, or deeds of loving kindness. I've been reflecting on the wisdom of Shimon HaTzadik, and I have come to believe that Torah, avodah, and gemilut chasadim represent three dimensions of the mission of Judaism. If you think about it, Judaism stands upon nothing if it does not stand upon Torah. In its strictest sense, the Torah refers to the 5 books of Moses, where the traditions, the values, the wisdom of Judaism were first revealed. Torah can be extended to include the writings of the prophets and the wisdom literature that we find in the Hebrew Scriptures. The oral Torah includes the Midrash that delve into the narrative of the Torah, and the Talmud that interprets the commandments. More broadly speaking, Torah refers to teaching, which is also at the heart of Judaism. When we recite the Vahavta, we affirm that we must teach our children the moral code of our people, the history of the Jewish experience, and the traditions of our culture. At Temple Shalom, educational opportunities range from Pajama Havdalah for families with children under 5 to Jewish journeys for people of all ages to our Tuesday Hebrew program. We have one of our teachers here. To our adult education classes, of which we've had several over the past year. We have more to look forward to, and our scholars in residence, which we had 5 last year. Torah, in both senses of the word, as scripture and as teaching, offers an opportunity to connect with people and to connect people with one another. Our education here is conducted with an aim to engage as many people as possible and to build community among those who participate. We get more out of the Torah and we learn more about each other when we listen to our various approaches and responses to Torah. The oral Torah teaches that when 2 are sitting and words of Torah pass between them, then the presence of God, the Shekhinah, is present with them. Torah, therefore, is the foundation of Judaism. Avodah, or service to God, takes Torah to the next level. In biblical times, sacrificial worship fulfilled Avodah. But for the last 2,000 years, our service has been attained appropriately enough at services. Worship affirms the essence of Torah. Prayer provides an opportunity to explore our relationship with Torah, faith, and spirituality. Avodah provides a space to reflect upon the values of Judaism and the ways in which they apply to ourselves and to the world. Our experience with Avodah is not the same as our experience with Torah. The feeling that we have during Rosh Hashanah services is very different from the feeling that we have when we're studying a text together. Services comprise one part of Avodah, but life cycle events such as a bris or a wedding or a funeral must be included as well. When we elect to connect critical junctures and turning points in our lives with the rituals of Jewish tradition, we carry Torah ledor vador from one generation to the next. The service that avodah provides Judaism is the depth that it gives to the breadth of Torah. Gemilut chasadim, acts of loving kindness, are what give Judaism its third dimension. As Pirkei Avot teaches, we must learn in order to do. The Talmud adds that it is better not to be born than to learn without intending to put into practice what one has learned. Acts of loving kindness literally flesh out Torah and avodah, putting the teaching and the prayer into action. Take pastoral care, for example. We learn from Torah to visit the sick. Our prayers affirm that commitment, but we've not fulfilled the commandment until we bring ourselves to actually visit someone, or at least call them, to comfort them. Beyond caring for family, friends, and congregants, Gemilut Chasadim extends to the act of loving your neighbor as yourself, regardless of your neighbor's religion, culture, gender, sexual orientation, political party, or position on politics in Israel. Gemilut Chasadim transcend humanity to all of God's creations, calling upon people to practice the ethical treatment of animals and enjoining us to protect and preserve the environment. Gemilut Chasadim empower us to make a difference in this world and to leave the world a better place than it was when we found it. A midrash teaches first do good deeds and then ask heaven for knowledge of Torah. First emulate the righteous and the just and then ask heaven for wisdom. First take hold of the way of humility and then ask heaven for understanding. From this we learn that Gemilut Chasadim enrich our engagement with Torah, enhance our avodah experience, and fulfill the purpose of them both. Judaism, therefore, is three-dimensional. Torah, in every sense, lays a foundation for Judaism with its breadth of wisdom. Avodah, or worship, provides the depth of understanding that uplifts the spirit and empowers us to accomplish our goals. And Gemilut Chasadim, acts of loving kindness, take Torah and Avodah to heights that can only be attained with our whole body and soul. Before I conclude, I'm often asked what is meant in the Vahavta by the commandment to love God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your being. The answer, I believe, is for us to always keep Torah close to our hearts, for our souls always to be moved by Avodah, and for Gemilut Chasadim to be fulfilled with our whole being. This is the essence of Judaism and the path that will lead us to fulfill our mission to be a light unto the nations. Al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed, al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Shabbat shalom.